Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to do so. It really means the world to me. Before getting into today's video, let me share a quick discount code with you. ShopMy15. It is valid until February 6th on full-priced items at Luisaviaroma. I will put the landing page in the description box down below. Not everything is included in the code, but the selection is really quite great, including items from Mugler, Jacquemus, Tom Ford, Chloe, my favorite Maison Margiela, Max Mara, some amazing René Caviola shoes, and so on. So do definitely check it out. And all the information about the discount code is going to be included in the description box down below. But today I want to talk about designer brands from which I will not be buying handbags in 2025, or probably anytime in the future actually. I should preface this video by saying the following though. If these brands produce something extraordinary, a bag that is just outstanding or one of a kind, I might buy this bag at some point in the future. However, I just do not see this happening in the foreseeable future. So it really looks like I will not be purchasing bags from these designer brands anytime soon. As I go through each designer brand, I will also explain my reasoning. I previously recommended bags from some of these designer brands that I'm going to be including in this video, and I still stand by those recommendations. However, for various reasons, which I will go through, I am done purchasing bags from these luxury brands. I hope you will find this video useful. If you are in the process of starting or updating your luxury handbag collection, let me know in the comments whether you share any of my thoughts or my sentiments about handbags from some of these designer luxury brands. And I'm going to start with Alexander McQueen. So previously, I actually recommended Alexander McQueen bags on this channel, and I stand by those recommendations. I think if you're looking for a more affordable option when it comes to designer bag prices, Alexander McQueen is a good brand to look at. Their bags also often go on sale, which is always pleasant, especially if you are set on purchasing a certain style. You can just wait till the end of the season and the bag will likely go on some type of sale. And even before sale, the skull bags sell for slightly less than 1,000 US dollars, which is really a great price considering current luxury designer prices. I also consider some design elements from Alexander McQueen to be quite classic, like the knuckle detail on the bags and on the clutches. I actually have one Alexander McQueen bag in my collection. It is right here. It is this jeweled satchel bag. I believe this is the name of the bag, and it is in black and white leather. I also purchased this bag on sale for a great price, and I'm happy to have one bag in my collection with this type of skull detail, which I consider to be kind of synonymous with the design house of Alexander McQueen. However, beyond this, I'm really not looking to add another bag with similar design elements into my collection. I feel like one is enough. It kind of ticks the box for me. I like this skull detail. I think it is cool and unique, but I do not need more than one. On the runway for spring 2025, McQueen featured a new bag style, the T-bar bag. There are several iterations of this bag that are now available. However, this bag, at least for now, has not really earned the spot of an iconic bag, a bag that is really representative of the DNA of McQueen as a design house. So it really doesn't appeal to me at the moment. I also feel that this T-bar bag is a real departure from the previous bag aesthetic, and I'm not sure about the longevity of this new T-bar design within the house of Alexander McQueen. In sum, I do like McQueen bags with skull detail, but I think one is enough. I have my McQueen bag, so I'm not planning any future handbag purchases from this designer. And by the way, my name is Lisa and I'm your guide to savvy luxury shopping no matter where in the world you are. Subscribe to my channel to learn more about strategic luxury shopping with the emphasis on quality and timelessness of your items. So next I want to talk about Stella McCartney. So similarly, I spoke about Stella McCartney bags a lot on this channel. I am still a fan, most notably of the Falabella bag styles. I think these bags are unique to Stella McCartney. They have their own aesthetic and point of view. They do not have an obvious logo or monogram, and the price really does not break the bank in terms of designer bag prices. It is worth saying once again that Stella McCartney does not use leather in her collections, so the cheaper price point is also the result of this, I'm sure. However, from the time that I was vegan, I still have around 6 Falabella bags and probably at least 2 more Stella McCartney bags that are of a different style. So, for example, right here, I have this Falabella in kind of this dusty pink color. I think it is the regular size. I have another one that is the exact same size, and it is this like snake print effect. I also have this tote from Stella McCartney, Falabella tote bag, that I actually used to travel with a lot, and I would also take it to work to carry my computer. But this is not it. I also have this small Falabella pouch bag. It is kind of this dark navy color. Then I have, let me show you, the mini Falabella with this kind of stone detail. And you know, when I bought this bag, that was so many years ago, I just thought it was like the coolest bag ever. And last but not least, I also have this crossbody style right here, which is black with the gold chain. So you get the point. I feel like I really have enough of Stella McCartney bags. I think some of the best Falabella bags on the market now are the crystal Falabella bags. There are quite a few options available, and they are priced better than crystal bags from other brands. So if you are into your crystals, I would suggest a purchase from Stella McCartney. For me, however, another Falabella bag just doesn't make sense. And I am really not into any other styles from Stella McCartney. So I just do not see myself adding to my Stella McCartney bag collection like pretty much anytime in the future. The third brand I want to talk about are Givenchy bags. Once again, I spoke about these bags in one of my videos where I was offering options for designer bags that are under 1,200 US dollars. Givenchy is a good brand to look at if you're trying to score a designer bag and not pay a fortune for it. I still use my Antigona bag, which is right here, extensively. And this is a bag style that I think is worth the investment from Givenchy. I find this bag to be quite functional for my day-to-day needs, and I will always stand by that. However, beyond this Antigona, I do not see myself purchasing another Givenchy bag unless this design house really launches something like really incredibly amazing. I tried on the new Antigona design. I believe it is called Antigona Cube bag, and I like the style. I'm not against it at all, but I feel that I do not need another similar style in addition to my Antigona, and my Antigona is doing quite well. So, while I do not have anything against Givenchy, I think that one Antigona is enough, and I'm not really interested in other designs, even though some of them are reasonably priced, and I might recommend them in the future as well. For my collection, however, these bags just do not make sense. I feel like I have the one bag from Givenchy that I would want to have. Okay, next up, let's talk about Dolce & Gabbana. So I actually do not have any bags from Dolce & Gabbana. I look at them quite often, simply because they surface in the sales a lot, and I just see them online all the time. But to this day, I have not seen a design that I would actually like or be drawn to. For the most part, I feel like Dolce & Gabbana bags are just too logo-y. A lot of the styles have a large D&G logo featured on the front of the bag, and this seems to be like the main design element, which kind of lowers the value of the bag, in my opinion. Like the 3.5 bag collection from Dolce & Gabbana is a good example of this. There's really nothing interesting in the design of these bags, and the big D&G logo just kind of looks very juvenile and simplistic. Another line with a big D&G logo is the DG Girls bag. And the logo on these bags can literally be seen from space. It is like the bag is screaming, I am a Dolce & Gabbana bag, in case you haven't noticed. This logo might as well have several exclamation points with it. It is just a bit too much. The Sicily line is much more classic and toned down. I could see how someone could style these bags well, but I feel like they do not go well with my aesthetic. I like the price point of these bags, especially if you buy Dolce & Gabbana in Europe, but I would find it difficult to style the Sicily bag. There is also the Marilyn line. I'm not sure, but I think it is kind of new. In any case, I think the proportions are just a bit off in this bag. Like the bar, the closure at the top is a bit thin for the proportions of the bag, especially in larger sizes. The small Marilyn shoulder bag kind of looks okay, but I'm not a big fan of D&G detail on the chain, and the chain itself actually looks a bit thin and unfinished for this type of the bag. I'm not sure if the chain is removable. I really could not see this on the website. So anyway, in sum, I'm just not convinced. Dolce & Gabbana bags are just not for me, and I do not see this changing anytime in the future, unless there is a major shift within the design house. I could see some positive aspects in some of these bags, but I still do not see myself buying any of them in the near future. All right, next up, let's talk about Balmain. With Balmain, the story is really quite different. I just don't understand their handbags at all. While like with Dolce & Gabbana, I could see some positive elements, at least in some of the bag lines, but Balmain really baffles me as a design house when it comes to their bags. They need to change something to remain relevant and rethink their bag design, at least in my humble opinion. Their bags just look crude and chunky and not well made, at least based on just looking at them online. I do not know how the decisions are really made in that design house, but to me, these bags just look really tacky. I think the B Buzz is one of the most extensive handbag lines that Balmain has, and this is the line with the large B logo. And none of these designs look noteworthy in any way. I would almost want to say that perhaps Balmain should tone down a bit and focus on producing a couple of simple bags with the emphasis on quality and more up to date aesthetic. I mean, they have a couple of totes that are not totally ugly, like this emblem tote bag. I like the button detail, so maybe they should take it from there and also drop the big Balmain B logo that is written out on many bags in this kind of bold way. Anyway, I have no love for the Balmain bags whatsoever. I think it will really take some time before I actually start taking any of their bags seriously. All right, Jimmy Choo bags are next. I featured some of them in one of my shopping vlogs. I kind of associate Jimmy Choo with clutches and evening bags, but ever since actually looking at them in real life, as opposed to just browsing online, I'm very dubious about the quality of Jimmy Choo bags. I am a big fan of their shoes, even though I just have one pair at the moment. But I feel like their bags are really lacking a bit in comparison to their shoes. The clutches that Jimmy Choo has seem to be too plasticky, even when they are leather clutches. And there is just too much bling and embellishment going on, which kind of cheapens the entire standing of the brand for me. The bonbon bags could be quite cute, but they are really like a one trick pony. I can think only of a couple of occasions when such a bag would be appropriate, and a wedding is one of those occasions. So I can see how Jimmy Choo bonbon bags and clutches could work for a wedding, so that's perhaps an exception. I also see myself maybe buying a cute bonbon bag at an outlet if the bag is considerably discounted. I actually think a lot of them end up in outlets. But in my day to day life, Jimmy Choo bags just do not have any appeal. Jimmy Choo also has a number of other designs, more everyday designs, like the diamond tote. But I think I just do not think of Jimmy Choo as a bag brand. I think of them as a shoe brand, and that is where it stops for me. So maybe this is really my issue and not a Jimmy Choo issue, but I just don't see myself investing in any of their bags at any time in the future. So next up are Versace bags. I do not even know where to begin. In my mind, they are something of a marriage between Dolce & Gabbana bags and Balmain bags. There is just something so unremarkable, but at the same time so loud and even tacky about Versace bags, at least in my opinion. The brand also likes to use their logo in their handbag designs, and like in many cases that I mentioned today, this logo often ends up being the main element within the design, which is quite disappointing, kind of simplistic, and at the same time, really tacky. For example, I actually often see these La Medusa handbags, and many of them end up in sales too, and even outlets, and I really find them less than impressive. Similar to Balmain, I feel like these bags look a bit crude. And similar to Dolce & Gabbana, they're just relying on the logo a bit too much. Medusa 95 bags are definitely better. They are just a bit more discreet, but there is very little interesting in them. I do not really find them appealing. And the Versace tag bags are just truly disappointing. It is their East West design, and it just looks like a crude copy of Alaya Latacal bag. And by now, we have seen so many brands using that design, and I actually recommended a similar Kate bag in my previous video. But I would never recommend this Versace bag as an interesting East-West option. It feels like they really tried to save money on the design and wanted to compensate by just including their logo on the front of the bag. This really feels like a lazy imitation attempt. By the way, Versace does have some bag charms for a reasonable price on their website. Check those out if you are into the bag charm trend, but you refuse to pay a fortune for bag charms from other brands. Last but not least, I'm also going to include Valentino in today's list. And with Valentino, I have one simple reason: there is no consistency. The brand changes too much, and I personally cannot rely that their bags and their logo are going to stick around for a long time. Plus, I just feel a bit confused. There is too much going on with their bags at the moment. So we have the rock stud bags that are still around, and these rock studs come in different sizes. By the way, I think they stopped making the one stud bags with just one large stud in the middle. I could not find those anymore on their website. But in addition to rock studs, we also have two Valentino logos functioning simultaneously. So we have the V logo that is more of an oval shape, and then the V logo that is kind of a rectangle. I will include pictures for clarity. But this is just too much for me. I do not know which logo to trust, which one will be around in like a couple of years. And now Valentino are also doing this really trendy version of their handbags in suede with fringe detail and the round studs. So I do not know how long will this boho style really last. So I just don't trust Valentino. I do not trust their bags, and I do not trust that the same bags will be around the next season. All right, that's it from me today. Do you have any designer brands that are on your no-buy list for handbags? Please share in the comments down below. And before you go, check out this playlist of mine with other videos about handbags. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and bye-bye.